All right. Welcome back to another Monday night Seeking Revonar campaign. And as you can see, we have a full house, which is crazy because there's so many people. So we've got our full crew back. Tom was out on vacation, but he is back and ready to play Tristan. And maybe I'll let you guys kind of fill him in here in just a moment. But we also have Danimal here to play Drubrin, reprise his role, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So settle in. We're about to play some Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to get going. Make sure all my volumes are on because I keep forgetting to turn my microphone on, which has been common in all these videos. Also wanted to say congratulations to Matt Colville. He's got his second Kickstarter running right now, and he's already funded, and they're pushing through stretch goals. So we got their strongholds and followers, and we're running it in this campaign, and we'll be running his warfare book probably eventually in this campaign too, just to get to play around with that stuff when inevitably some army marches across the world and tries to raise the keep that these players have currently. So that'll be super fun. Or a dragon attacks with an army or something. We'll see what happens. It'll be good. So hopefully all those cool stretch goals are out there. Check it out if you haven't. Pretty cool Kickstarter, and they've got a lot of good content. Really good book. Other than that, again, thanks for Danimal for coming as our guest. He is our Wednesday night dungeon master who's been trying to annihilate us in some tombs. And so far we've survived his shenanigans. We'll see if we can again. Hopefully this Wednesday we get to play. We didn't play last week, so I'm looking forward to playing this week. So it should be pretty good. So it should be a pretty full week of role playing. All right. So jumping in recap wise, I feel it's appropriate for our Lords of the Keep to fill in Tristan, who at the end of returning to the keep caught pneumonia and was sick for a few days or more while the group continued on doing things and taking care of things around the area. He was kind of out of commission. So now he's back up and moving around. And so you guys can go ahead and fill him in. What does Tristan need to know about what you guys did as far as Lords of the Keep? You made some decisions, you did some stuff, and probably should bring him up to speed.
All the workers now have a new 5-year contract. We negotiated a 4.1 cost of living raise. They could split up between their wages and benefits. And we also heard the problems of the peasantry who wanted to come to settle the land and farm. What were the terms of that?
They were going to be able to settle near the castle, but not too far north, where the elves are. They were also going to work with Lady Megara about what the percentage is that they will be offering to the keep for them to keep their land and work it.
And
I don't know what we had decided on that yet.
Bunch of stupid farmer boring stuff. Then we killed venom trolls. That was great.
I was not a fan of those. Those were very unpleasant.
And then there were some adventurers from Port Bastion that one of them got drunk and handsy with the scullery maids here, and they were banished from our site.
We also found out some information on 3 different dragons and where they live. There's a black dragon in the mountains to the west, I believe it is. There's a blue dragon in east or north. Red dragon in the south. And we've got their names.
Zulfurion, Isandra, Suragolos. We kill them all eventually.
Yeah.
Sure. They'll look good over the hearth.
And the farmers are allowed to maintain the grounds as long as they don't ever use slaves to tend their soils, and they adhere to the wage and benefit standards set forth by the Abbey of St. Timor.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
So that was pretty much, and actually, well, you guys, what was the whole reason for fighting the trolls in the first place?
There was an elven delegation coming down south to us from the elven city, and all of the I believe all of the elves got out and got to our castle, and then let us know that somebody had ambushed them, and then we went and checked it out, and we found some ugly, bloating it trolls, ogres.
They were just awful trolls that
Trolls.
when we cut them, they sprayed venomous goo all over us that tore away at our flesh.
It was great.
Nasty
Sounds
stuff.
unpleasant.
Also, Captain Dorn, captain of your the Fist, which is your medium infantry foot unit that kind of follows your orders. Tristan, they're from the church, from your church, in fact, the one that you came from over in the Sword Coast. He had decided and had reported some restlessness amongst the soldiers, so requested that he take them out on maneuvers and training. So the group kind of agreed. You ended up going out and catching up with them after you were no longer sick to oversee what they were doing, and it was basically them on the move, setting up camps, doing defensive stuff, digging trenches and things, all kinds of like drills for, unit movement, unit attacking, and coordination, and just kind of getting them out from just being almost like a barracks group, and get out in the field, let them stretch, let them get some training in, and then they came back. So that happened over a 2-week period, and they came back towards the end. That was one of the reasons Tristan wasn't with the group when they went up to check on the broken down merchant train, is that you were still out of maneuvers with the Fist.
Cool.
Wayfinder Rieger had reported that the dragons do not seem to be, or have not noticed, the different merchants that are moving back and forth between Port Bastion and Ulue in Suwari. They have lookouts that keep an eye on the mountain range where that dragon lives. And as it comes out, they get messages back to have those caravans hide until the dragon is done hunting and returns. But that dragon has been active and hunting quite often thus far, but has not found any of the trade route traffic yet. Lady Megara pretty much has been doing the thing she's been doing. So other than that, the only other thing we need to do is that Tristan leveled up since last session. So I assume you got all your character sheet up to date?
Yep.
So what we did with everybody is we had them all go around and tell kind of the audience and each other a little bit what they had mechanically, so everybody kind of had an understanding of what new thing they got, but then also in-game narratively how they came up with a reason on how they were able to gain this new ability, whether it was going out and training in the forest, going down to Port Bastion and finding a trainer, doing whatever. So for you, if you want to go ahead and tell us mechanically what you got for your next level.
Sure. So hit points
Mm-hmm.
and aura protection, I think, is the only thing I picked up this time around.
Cool. No spell slots?
Nope. No spell slots, no adjustments of any sort. Basically just the 10-foot radius to add the saving throws, which use my charisma modifier, which is a 3. So if you're within 10 feet of me, you get a +3 on your your saves.
Cool. All right.
So also the one tiny factor, I'm immune to disease. So I would change it up to he was probably on vigil praying to Torm the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of that's how he got his devotion aura, or for the immunity. is that he spent multiple days just praying the whole time.
Awesome. That makes total sense. All right, cool. Now, so I think what we would see is the camera is on the keep at the moment. You 5 are doing various things, and this is probably about, now we're at the second week of from when we've come back from the Black Pyramid. A day before that, as our camera fades out and then zooms into Port Bastion, coming in over the ships that are anchored in the sea, making its way into the mostly repaired and rebuilt Lucky Coin that has been being rebuilt in Port Bastion. We would swing in on a gray-skinned, large elephant-sized humanoid Drubrin, which we would all know for those of you that have watched any of the Seeking Revonar stuff in the past. You can go check that out on the VODs and the YouTube channel. And we kind of zoom in past that. We cruise into where a room is. There's like a light flickering candle that's still kind of lit. Drubrin seems to be deep in meditation. And the kind of the screen kind of fades to like that kind of blurred out filter that goes over the camera to let everybody in the audience know that we're in some type of dream world. As we see Drubrin open his eyes, and then standing before him once
That's
again.
A weird place from lockup.
He left to a dream world.
Left the dream world.
He jumped planes, and we just kind of got to roll.
And then everybody died. Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You disappeared to a dream world.
Yeah. So yeah.
You look like this.
Cool. See, on my side, it didn't do that. Just on your guys' side. All right, so we see Drubrin, who opens his eyes in this dream world, and then once again, he can tell he's in a golden field, and standing before him, almost 9 feet tall, is this very large, muscled humanoid man, which he recognizes as Inti, standing before him. And Inti seems to have a stern look on his face as he sees Drubrin, and he once again looks down on his disciple, and he, in a booming voice that only he can hear in his head and in his ears, though it sounds like it shakes the plains around him, he says, "You have slept and waited long enough. It is time for you to retrieve something that is mine."
Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Where shall I go?
Before him shines what appears out of almost like a small speck of light, and then builds into what looks to be like a staff that has a sun, kind of almost think like an Incan version of a sun etched on the very top of it. And as it kind of sits there, as it materializes out of the speck of light, it is golden in color, shines brightly with light, and it slowly twirls in between. He says, "This was taken from one of my temples. You are strong enough now. You will retrieve it. For fear it will fall in the wrong hands if left any longer. Go to the north. You will see the mountains. You will let your senses guide you to where it is located. It is dangerous. The thing that guards it will test you and those you bring. But you will retrieve this artifact."
And yeah, Drubrin will hear that and think of how he used to be, about how scared he used to get, but reserve that, put it away, and then realize he'll be safe. He'll be fine, and he'll say, "Yes, I will leave immediately."
The image begins to fade, and Drubrin wakes up actually sitting outside of the shrine that he has been building. And the thing that you notice about the shrine is it looks nearly complete, though you do not know how or when it had happened. You've been keeping a close eye on it, and you were sure that just yesterday it still had quite a bit to go, and you were still getting funds together to hire workmen away from all the work that they're doing in Port Bastion to continue to work on it, though you worked with it on your hands as much as you could with the skills that you had. But now as you kind of gaze upon that shrine, it seems almost complete. Like if you were to put a percentage on it, it would probably be like 98%. Something has completed this, and you have woken up here where just before you had believed that you were in a room that you had been renting from the Lucky Coin and Rula in Port Bastion. But now you're sitting before the shrine as if you've been sitting there, and you kind of feel yourself actually quite cold, as if you've been there all night. The sun begins to rise up, and as you're looking, the shrine has a view of the harbor, and the sun is coming up in the harbor as you awake.
Well, he said to go north, right?
Yes, and you notice that when you're looking to the west, you have this strange feeling of that's not right. And then as you say that, he said to go to the north. You look north, and then the feeling of this is right kind of permeates through you.
All right. Well, I suppose I'll just think for a second and start walking, assuming that I will receive either some form of guidance or something will occur to me as I begin walking.
Yeah, so you just start walking north. All right, so you have to get to, there's a gate on the north side, but you do have to kind of wind around to get over to it. Anytime you turn from that northern direction, you can just feel this feeling of it not moving in the right direction. And then as you do start to turn, it swings back. And then it's this strong feeling of going in the right direction. And as you pass through the gate and you start to run up the northern road, you notice you're passing villages and villages. And the road doesn't quite go north, but your sense keeps bringing you north.
Well, I'll use my seeming internal compass and wind my way through whatever is in front of me, trying to continue going directly north.
Okay. So a few days later, as you've been traveling, having to make camp at least twice, you are at the foot of the northern mountains. There's a huge mountain range that goes along the coast, and it stretches all the way to the north as far as any of the scouts have seen or any map that you've seen before. And you're kind of at the base of it, and it's this huge, sprawling mountain range.
I will continue trying to go north, climbing if I have to.
Okay. All right, so we'll kind of leave you there for a moment. Back over at the keep, what is the group doing as the sun rises? A new day has happened. We're at a new day, and Tristan seems to have gotten over his pneumonia. He has come back with the fist, and we have our full group back at the keep.
Sharpen weapons, oil weapons. Sit in the courtyard waiting to go.
Just regular everyday stuff for the most part.
Vormar and I have set up some form of like obstacle course jungle gym thing. We're doing our morning runs through it, getting shredded.
Yeah, as your morning starts to take on, you've noticed Vormar has over the last couple of days started to ask you something, Bissell. You've kind of caught on, but then seems to not want to ask it, and then goes back to doing whatever you guys were doing. So over the last few days, you feel like there's been a question that Vormir wants to ask, but hasn't asked. This morning, seems like he is gathered his confidence, and he kind of stops midway through your warm-up sessions, and he looks to you and says, I think today, and you have been your ability to learn his language has increased over the 2 weeks. So think of it being more stilted and more not the grammar being as good, but the gist of it is, he says, I think I want to visit Port Bastion. Do you think they would allow me to see it?
I think so. I would advise taking a guide, both because large cities can be very confusing and because, no offense, you're fucking terrifying. And I mean that as a compliment.
Okay, yeah, you got to see him contemplate what you're saying as he's thinking over each part specifically. And he says, I think I will. I would like to see this city built by these people that we now live amongst, though none of them look like you or me. I feel I must see it, though I have heard much of it. Will you stay here and I will be back in a few days?
I might go out and about, but I will meet you back here.
He's like, he kind of nods as if, and he's kind of like a relief on his shoulders, almost as a fear, as if maybe he would offend you or he was worried you wouldn't want to be here or stay here. And you see him kind of go off and talk to, or kind of pantomime to one of the merchant people that have their wagons that are getting strapped up. All the wagons have been fixed and they look like they're about to move on down the road towards Bastion. And he's kind of pantomiming this idea that he would like to travel with them. And you can see them kind of working it out, but it's taken a little while, but they're definitely not going to turn this thing down as he towers over them. And they're just kind of looking around, like shaking their head like, sure, you can do whatever you want. You want to do that? You can do it, and he seems pretty confident, but he wants to see this Port Bastion. Anything else for Tristan or Eingar or Alberix?
Eingar's going to be taking forays out into the forest, into the woods, working on his woodsman skills that he just learned. Making sure all of his equipment's up to snuff.
If I get a chance, I would like to spend one last night in my grove, and just really trying to attune with it. You had mentioned that I need to research and learn more about it. So just kind of the beginning steps of that.
Okay. Tristan, good?
Yeah, I'm good at the whole praying and getting the gear fixed up and waiting to head out.
Cool. All right, Drubin. You track through mountains, through valleys and ravines, snow, ice, and rain. You seem like all of the different weather patterns hit you at any given time. You've spent probably 4 or 5 days in this mountain range, and at times your sense brings you one way, but there's no physical way for you to get there. You can't climb whatever thing stands in your way, and you have to find a way around it. And eventually, after scrabbling up what seems to be a long-lost kind of trail or path, whether it be animal or made by something else, you approach what appears to be a darkened cave in the mountain area. As you get closer, it radiates some type of feeling in your gut that just turns it and roils it and makes you nearly want to throw up from fear.
Well, that would have to be pretty significant since I have advantage against frightening. Wow. All right. So, do I feel like this is an inherent fear from the place, or does this feel in line with the internal compass that has been guiding me? Is it telling me this is the place, but be careful, yo?
You think that just the very air coming from this cave, which almost seems smoky or mist-like in some way, exudes an evil presence.
Okay. Well, could I do some kind of perception check to see if there's anything I could gain
Yeah.
from the smell?
You could do that, or probably even religion if it's something you are proficient in. Perception, if not.
Yeah, perception, I think. So is this based on the smell?
It is more based on probably something arcane. I mean, arcane might be another version of it.
I was just going for
It's
the
not
smell because
natural.
I get advantage.
Yeah, it's
No
not
worries.
natural. Yeah.
I'll roll the perception. A big old 9.
Yeah, so you don't gain too much from it. You recognize that it is most likely of some type of either divine magic or arcane magic that is present. Something in there definitely, like most would probably have already turned away and would not even have been able to approach as far as you have, though each step forward is tougher and tougher.
Well, I'm not the smartest of creatures, so I will use this information that I've gained of how it's quite bad and try to stealth and see if I can get any further inside.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check to see how well you're doing.
15.
You feel pretty stealthy. All right, so as you move up to the entranceway, you are quickly kind of enveloped into this smoky like atmosphere and realize that you can only see probably 15 or so feet in front of you at any given time. And it looks like it goes in and it's just darkness ahead of you.
Am I still getting that internal feeling to drive forward?
You know you're facing the right direction, and now you're fighting the presence that's trying to push you away, though you know you're moving in the right direction. It's not pushing you to go in this direction. It's just telling you that you are facing the right direction. You don't get the impulse to move forward. In fact, you're getting the impulse to almost step back.
Right. Well, I was told by Inti to try and find this and that it would be quite the challenge. Would I assume that this might be too much for me right now, or would I be
How about a
more
wisdom check?
inciting that I should keep going? Wisdom check for sure. 20.
20. Nice. You feel like this may be bigger than you yourself can handle.
All right. Well, now that I guess I've scouted out the area and hopefully I can remember how to get here, I might see if I can wrangle up some help, I guess. Anybody who would I go back to Port Bastion, or do I know of anything else nearby?
You've adventured with who? I'm trying to remember.
Everyone except Tristan and Mistletoe.
Yeah. Okay, so you know their keep is out, and it's probably a day's travel to their keep, the Abbey of Timor now, and you would know that. You would know that the abbey has been created in his honor. Or you would know that it's probably 2 or 3 days back to Port Bastion. It's probably closer to the abbey. And in Port Bastion, you're not sure of any of the adventures that have survived there. There is not many. Like, you're one of the few people staying in the Lovely Coin.
All right. Well, yeah, I will look at this entranceway as I leave the mistiness, and I will try to mark it somehow so that I might try and cast some force beams into the ground in the shape of a sun, so that I'm like, okay, this is the place. But I feel like I would probably have a gut feeling as to where to go, and I will start trudging towards the old abbey.
All right. So quickly you make your way out of the mountain range. It's easier to move downhill and out than it is up and in, so you're finding that you're making pretty good time. And within just another days of camping, and then moving on, you have noticed that your travels have been quite clear of any obstacles. You've noticed that there hasn't really been any signs of dangerous animals or creatures that have been around. You almost feel like you've been able to kind of walk unhindered out here, which is not really normal because quite often Revonar is quite dangerous, but you feel as if something's guiding and protecting you while you're sleeping, and then you're moving through the forested area. It's not too long before you come out to an area that is a road that seems to be well traveled, and though you're a little bit south of where you thought the keep was, it's clear that this is the road that's been heavily traveled at this point and easy to follow the road to the north until you come into sight of the keep. You get there early morning as a caravan is leaving out of the courtyard area and begins to head towards Bastion. You recognize the wagons as being the shape and make of some of the elven delegation wagons, and even some of the merchants, it seems, are traveling with them. And it looks like they're heading south past you as you come up to the keep. The first person you'd probably recognize in the courtyard is probably Rock, who is sharpening and oiling weapons at the moment.
Well, before I get to that, I'm just going to make a wisdom save real quick. Yep, that beats a 10. It's just, looking at this place, thinking about, my organs and flesh being rendered from my body and dying here. It's not a great place, but I'll try and push that aside and walk in through the gates and head towards Rock, who I've gone on a couple of adventures with.
Hail, Drobin.
Rock, nice axe.
It is.
Others here too?
Gonna look around the courtyard. No.
You were
Well,
a gift.
I came here for help. And he's struggling over the word assistance with a task I've been given.
Rock board. Rock will help.
And you'll see his his big tusky mouth just instantly go into a grin, and he'll be all happy. And you'll also notice that one of his tusks got badly snapped in half during the dragon assault, and he's actually recrafted a replacement tip with gold because it looks fancy.
Nice. Temple doing well then.
Temple, yes, doing strangely well. Praise Inti. And at that moment, he looks down at his studded leather and quickly casts Prestidigitation again to make the symbol of Inti appear on his chest, which he regularly does every hour if he remembers. He's not very good at remembering.
Yeah, very fancy. Come, we'll go to common room. I'm sure everyone there.
Great. Let's go. Lead the way. And as we're walking past, I keep looking around, remembering bad times here.
We'll show them into the common room.
And it definitely can see that quite a bit of construction has been done since you were here. So a lot of wall has been repaired. All the walls have been repaired. There's been some new structures that have been added to the inside. There are some additional structures that were on the outside starting to be built. And it is kind of starting to definitely look different than it did. And then as you move into the common area, you would recognize this as what was the old kind of altar room that has been reappropriated into being a big common kind of guest hall, feast hall kind of thing. And in there is set out on tables. It seems to be the breakfast hour, and you can see whether it's workers or it's guards or it's soldiers or it's priests or it's quite bustling for the number of people that are here. And then you will see some other familiar faces or shapes amongst the tables. I would probably think you would see Eingar there. Tristan is probably there. You may not recognize him yet. Mistletoe, you probably would have seen in the courtyard, though it wouldn't have dawned on you to just think anything of that except that there was a tiefling doing things out in the courtyard. And I would say Albrix is probably not here at the moment. Albrix is probably returning from the grove where he stays. So you probably see Eingar sitting next to a knight in armor of Torm, seems to clearly be a cleric of Torm, having breakfast as you and Rock kind of walk up.
We're going to walk in and Rock's going to yell loudly, Droverin need help and Rock bored.
I gotta look up. Hey, Drugrum.
Hail, Eingar.
Good to see you again. Where are we going now?
I'll look around. Is there any chance that there is like a beast man's head mounted over the top of something? Please tell me there is.
They had acquired and brought back in this meeting room a large stuffed head of a chimera.
I guess that'll do. Yeah. So I'll say I'll give praise to see Eingar, another familiar face, and say I have a task, a dark, evil place. I need help. I can't quite go there alone, it seems.
What? Smiting evil? And I'll perk up to that. And, we should go smite the evil. Always go smite the evil.
Yeah. Come along. Anybody who would like to come along is welcome. I'm Drugrin.
I am Tristan, and I am a follower of Torm, and we like smiting the evil. So, and Rock looks like he's ready to go. He's got everything he owns on him. So we should go.
I assume Rock's already walking out, expecting everyone to follow him.
That was kind of my take on it, too.
Yeah.
He basically said we should go and probably started leaving.
Yep, well, seeing three companions raring to go with him, Drubin will be like, right, well, yeah, and he'll quickly grab a random ale that's around, take a big gulp of it, move, and then take a deep breath and go, let's go!
So as you guys are heading to the door, Lady Megara is standing there and catches Tristan's eye and kind of gives him a look of a moment, please, as the others kind of file out ahead of you. And she kind of bows and then says, will you be leaving again? When should we expect you back?
When the evil is thoroughly smited.
She says,
so it might be a few weeks.
Okay. She says, any orders for, or she asks, should I send for Captain Dorn or Wayfinder Rieger, or should I pass a message on to them?
They seem to be doing their job okay. Patrolling around, training people up to beat all the evil. So, as long as we're keeping on top of things and making sure that Cyric and Bane are not getting any footholds in this area, I feel like we're doing a good job.
She gives you a nod, and she seems quite happy that you're going to go take care of evil. She seems to be quite at home in running this complete household, and kind of runs it like a drill sergeant, anyways, from any time that you've observed her. And then just kind of gives a nod, and then goes ahead and continues on talking with other staff of the household as you head out. And you guys are heading into the courtyard as Alberix is coming in the gates.
Sweet. Good timing, Alberix. Time to go.
I'm gonna go get Mistletoe. He might want to go too.
Mistletoe?
Druprin.
Oh, right. The glowing tiefling. That's probably not evil.
What
I'm
is
doing
it that brought
the
you
flash
to
dance
us?
routine in the courtyard.
Yes, that's not helping the evil. But it is peril, and I'm willing to face the peril.
Hey, can we detail people to start digging basement structures outside of the keep at this point for my tavern plans?
Sure, if you have money to pay workers. Absolutely.
I will give him the 800 gold that I have after he bought me that drift globe when he went to Port Bastion. Because he paid 1,000 for it, and all I had was 800.
That's a good try. All rocks, golds, and Bastion anyway. So
Yeah,
Didn't
we
you
could
go
we
to
could do all
Bastion?
that stuff on the Discord stuff. We can have that started.
All right, we've got Eingar and we've got Mistletoe, right?
Well,
What
upon
are
seeing
we
our
doing?
beer,
Upon seeing Drubrin, what is it that is... I had no idea you would live.
and Drubrin will come up to Beerix and like lean over and just give him a big hug. And like, yes, I survived somehow. I was crushed, uncovered in the coming days. I think he looked out for me. And you didn't hear any of that, did you? I was saying that I was crushed under rubble for a couple of days and dug out, and I've been helping Port Bastion try to recover and also trying to sort out the temple. It's great to see you again, Alberix. And
What is
big
it
clap on
you
the back.
once told me? As long as the sun shines upon you, you shall live forever. And in Nietzsche's life.
Yes, maybe not in this form, but he's told me that and shown me that I will serve him for a long, long time.
And what is it that has brought you here now?
I require help. There is a task I've been given, one that might be too much for me to deal with alone. A dark, evil presence guiding a relic that has been stolen.
Describe this place.
And I'll describe how it's in the northern mountains and how I was pulled there by some gut feeling, like an almost internal compass. And then when I got there, I felt there was some like arcane evil, divine evil, something trying to repel me.
Does he describe the Black Pyramid?
No, he describes a place to the north and east.
Then I suppose we shall help you then. Seeing this is how. And he looks about at everybody that's all ready to go. Lead on, friend.
A friend in need.
When
Excellent.
a friend asks for help, you help them.
If you guys are looking at the handout of the map, the spot that he basically describes, think of that being somewhere in 72.15 or even maybe 73.14. Could be somewhere in that area, definitely deep in the northern mountains. And we call these the northern mountains only because it's north of Bastion, though to you guys it's east of you. But everybody just kind of knows them as the northern mountains since everything centers around Bastion.
Ah, the mountains. It's good to get back into them.
Yes. Let us be underway then.
And I'll kind of lead the way, but I assume Logan with his new Chad totem will be leading us quite quickly.
You just point and yell if I go off track. And with that, Rock will lead the way.
All right, cool. Mistletoe agreed to go, I assume.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm working off my debt to these people, so if they're rolling out to fight, do something dangerous, I figure it's my job to follow.
Okay.
And Druben will see Mistletoe as quite an interesting person and want to ask a bunch of questions.
You have really neat tusks.
Oh, thanks. Blushes a little bit.
Did you grow those, or is that like an implant thing?
Grew this one. This one was grown, snapped off. Had some dwarves make a new golden bit. Felt a bit uneven.
I approve.
Fancy.
So the camera will swing out as if it's on a cool drone and follow you guys. And you're moving quickly. Almost think of like Last of the Mohicans running through the forest on your way to and through the mountains, as if you're taking all of the right trails. You're bypassing any of the things. Rock seems to be able to guide you across all kinds of animal trails that seem to speed up your time as you travel, and you don't seem to wear out as quickly as before. So you make really good time and speed. In
I
fact,
am one with the land.
what took Drubrin a couple of days to come out of the mountain range, you were quickly able to cover in a full day. And as the sun begins to set in the west, you find this old, what to Rock would have been, you were on what seemed like an animal trail, a game trail, being guided by Drubin in the right direction, but it quickly turns into a path that seems to be built by something else, something with intelligence, not just an animal trail that's worn into the mountainside. It grows a little bit wider as you continue to move up, and then each of you, as you move up this new track, begin to feel a growing fear in the pit of your stomach, as if something is benevolently watching you, staring into your soul, deciding if it wants to devour it, and trying to encourage you to turn around or be devoured.
This simply encourages me more, because clearly the evil is that way.
And within moments, even though we hit, we're kind of in that twilight stage as the sun is starting to set. Think of everything kind of in a dim light cast of shades of grays and darkness. And up above, you can see an opening in the face of the mountainside that seems to be a cave entrance. Out from the cave entrance seems to swirl as if on a wind of its own, almost like a mist, but it's a mist of like a blackish, darkish color instead of like a usually like a fog would be like a whitish or a grayish color, a light gray. This is more of like a black or a dark gray color. And it seems to just emanate and pulse and move on its own wind currents out of this cave opening.
Would my marking that I did on the ground in front of Inti still be there?
Yeah, it appears to be. It seems like nothing has disturbed it.
I'll take that as a good sign.
Does it look like it's billowing out of the cave, or it's more just kind of like an ever-present, kind of like a fog?
It seems like it's dancing on wind currents of its own that come out of the cave and seem to eventually dissipate, maybe once it's 30 40 feet outside of the cave mouth entrance. But you could feel the normal wind going a different direction, and this seems to defy that, as if it has its own wind.
Does it seem to be one thing, like the cloud is moving as one, almost like it was an entity of some kind, or is it fragments that are each moving on their own, kind of against the wind?
You think it's a fog or a mist of some sort. It doesn't seem like it's all one thing. It just seems like stuff billowing out of a cave.
Okay.
Maybe almost like a chimney might, but it's on its side and it's billowing out. But if it was turned straight up, it would make sense. That's kind of the visual of it, is like smoke or mist or a grayish soot coming out of a cave entrance.
Has there been any animals along this trail as we've gotten close to it?
You have not recognized any, though the mountains seem to be quite bare of most wildlife, though you've seen a few things here or there off in the distance. You might have seen like a crag cat of some sort, or you might have seen some type of maybe a deer or a goat that you didn't recognize before, a herd of them moving off in the distance. But as you've gotten deeper into and gone more north and east, it seems like the wildlife has been less and less.
All right.
I'm gonna pull off my shield, draw my longsword, sidle up next to Tristan. That's not
Sweet.
right.
Definitely looks like the right place. We should totally go in.
Igar's gonna pull up in behind him with his crossbow at the ready.
Do
Albirix
we
will
know
look
anything
at
about this
Drubrin.
place?
Outside, there's evil afoot. Nope.
Well, Drubrin will notice that you guys seem quite prepared and quite used to fighting alongside each other, and take that as a good omen, and will be right behind you.
Look over to Drubrin. Tristan cannot see in the dark as so many others can. Do the
But this
thing
time
that
I
you-
brought torches.
Oh, would you like me to make your shield a torch?
That would be excellent.
And Drubin will rummage into a small pouch, and he'll pull out some phosphorus moss. And as he rubs it on his shield, he will cast the light cantrip.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right, and then you enter the cave.
Yep. I'm going to cast protection from evil on myself, though, to start.
All right, so you cast protection from evil. Go ahead and tell us what that looks like. Have we seen that before? Have you cast that?
I don't think I've actually cast it on anyone yet. It's never quite worked out ahead of time. So, in this case, I would assume that when it's cast, it would seem like, I don't know, a protective aura, sort of, and then it would kind of fade a bit, so it wouldn't be outstandingly obvious.
Yeah, and you feel the emotion of the thing that's trying to push you away dissipates. Like it's not being you're not affected by it any longer.
Yep, I feel confident in the power of Torm.
Rock's gonna give you the
Maybe
the orcish
overconfidence, really. What was that, Rock?
Rock gives you the orcish eyebrow. Thanks for the protection.
Yeah, if I could cast it more than once, I would.
Once we get into the cave mouth, Iyengar is going to look at the walls and ceiling and see if it's see if he can see if it's a natural cave or if it was built by someone or carved out by someone. If he see what he can notice using his stone cutting.
All right. So, and Tom, remember it's concentration. So if you do take damage, be sure to remember. Okay, and you cast it on Rock, not yourself, right? Or did you cast it on yourself?
No, it's on Rock.
Oh, it's on Rock.
I thought you cast it on yourself.
No, that was for you.
Oh, all right.
If I could cast it again, I would cast it on myself.
And he gives you the eyebrow and gives you a nod.
All right.
There you go.
So as you move into the foggy entrance, I'm going to go ahead and move you guys to it. The first thing that you recognize right away is that it's not darkness that is in here. It is a mist or a fog that envelops you and cuts off your vision from very far. You can feel it scrape across your skin, and every now and then on those places that are exposed, you almost feel as if it's tasting you in some way, as if it's trying to find some way to breach your skin and armor, as if it kind of curls around you. And at times, it almost feels like the soft touch of something. And then it goes back to just being like a mist of like a moisture or, like moving through a very high humidity kind of dense cloud. So though your light shines bright as you approach the cave entrance, Tristan, you realize that most of it is shunted off by this fog-like, this fog-filled cave that you're moving into. Let me bring you guys over to it.
We don't have anyone that can do gust of wind, do we?
If they memorized it.
And then let's bring our audience over so they can see the map.
So the first time that kind of creepy tasting sensation hits Mistletoe, she's going to flare her fist and kind of let out a small bolt of the radiant energy from inside down towards the floor. Does that have any effect on the mist?
It does not seem to. It kind of swirls as if it's gone through something, as if it's like the same thing you would expect if it went through smoke or a misty fog on a given night. It makes a swirl as if it reacts slightly to it, but not very much. It doesn't flare up, and it quickly kind of loses some of its light as it moves to it.
Okay.
And so you guys could see probably about 25-ish feet, 30-ish at the most, as you begin to walk into the cave. I'm not sure what order you wanted to walk in, but I placed you there so that you could decide on your marching order.
What hand is Tristan?
Left-handed.
Switch with me.
How do you want to work my finish figure where I can cast false life as much as I want?
Handle it like the rules want us to. Is there
Okie
anything we
dokie.
should not do?
A perfect answer.
That's fine.
No, it's not working. Hang on 1 second.
Shouldn't you just give yourself 8 free hit points because you'll keep casting it until you get the 4?
That's why I asked, how did you want to handle it? But it's all good. I will take the 6.
Was it, which class is that from? Your sorcery or your warlock class?
Warlock.
So how would your patron want you to use it?
Yeah, and he would want me to take what I get.
All right, I'll let you decide.
Yep. Big ol' 6.
So those that are at home, I'll do a thing here so you can kind of see what the players see. So I clicked on Tristan here, and this is about as much as he can see in the map thus far. So this is what they're seeing as they move into the cave. Now the floor seems to be of almost like a dirt cave floor. Eingar, you're staring at the walls, and you can see the mist and the fog kind of move past you. It seems to be of a natural cave formation. This seems to be like a natural fissure of some sort, though the floor is flat enough, and there do appear to be some tracks here or there.
Can I tell what they are?
Booted feet, as far as you can tell.
Somebody's been in here fairly recently.
You can't tell. You don't know if it's old or if it's ancient. Could be 100 years old. Could be a day ago.
So moving slowly keeping myself open to danger using the barbarian danger sense. Rock will start creeping forward, probably in time with.
Yep. I'll keep with my barbarian friend here.
Is there light coming off of the paladin now?
Yeah.
Blue shield should, yeah.
But even when he moves 20 or so feet ahead of you, if you were to stay near the entrance, he's quickly enveloped into the fog and the light does not penetrate it.
Should we have more than one light source?
I just wish I was able to get that drift globe like I wanted.
Oh, you sound so sad.
You didn't? I thought you got it.
He never went back to Bastion.
Oh,
You went to Bastion and you had the cash.
Oh, did you ask Rock to buy it for you?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. He would have bought it then. Rock had 1,076 gold in his account back there. He'll empty that out for Elberix.
Icar would have thrown in if he'd have known you were buying it too.
Could you put my drift globe out, please? I sound much happier now that Rock was a good pal and did that for me.
I like to think he just forgot to mention that he got it until like right now he just like throws it out of his backpack at you. He's like, "Oh, I got you."
76 gold's not going to be much to start my tavern with.
Well, I gave you the 800 I have.
I didn't bring it with me. I'm going to leave that back at the.
Yeah.
all right. It is next to you.
Is it illuminated?
Yeah.
I will speak the word.
Yeah. So it does. What is it? 30 feet. Also, it's like a torch. Is it 20 by 20 or what?
Just like a light spell. So 20 and 20.
20 and 20. Okay.
I speak the word schmegma, and it glows a light.
So 40, 20. Save changes.
There we go.
I think what's going to happen though.
That is cutting through. I think that's cutting through your fog probably more than you want.
Yeah. I'm going to change it.
So do you want to do dim at 20 and then nothing at
Oh, that I got it. It's all right. Let me see it now. No, that didn't work. What just happened?
Yeah, that works. I see what you did. That's perfect.
Yeah. And you notice right away, if it gets 25, 30 feet from you, it disappears. You don't see it. The fog blocks the vision. You guys cannot see anything more than 30 feet away from you, no matter how bright it is.
Yep. I will not let it get that far. Shield up, peering over the edge of it. I follow my computer.
All right. I'll let you guys keep exploring. I'm watching.
Drugan will reach out towards the paladin and say, "You seem to be a warrior of the light here," and he'll cast guidance on him.
Okay, cool.
So if something comes up, feel free to use it.
Excellent. Thank you.
So, Druben, what are we looking for in here?
I feel like it's some kind of staff. Inti's told me it was here somewhere. I have this gut feeling pulling me towards it. And do I feel a particular pull anywhere in particular?
Huda.
So yeah, kind of out of the mist and fog appears a statue of some sort. And it looks like it's a robed figure with no face.
Is it stone?
Yes, it is made of stone.
Is it a golem?
And then appearing. No, it seems to just be a large carved stone. And again, of a cowled figure. But when you look underneath the cowl, stone cowl, and it's probably, 15 feet tall. It is humanoid, but the face, there is no face under the cowl, as if whoever made the statue was making it as if it was a faceless kind of person. From the ground to your left, Tristan, you feel an evil presence immediately. And as you turn and look that way, from the floor seems to swirl, and almost like a purpley bluish smoke materializes into a figure holding a blackened iron sword, and its eyes stare at you and says, "How dare you trespass? Leave at once."
Alrighty. So, initiative?
Murder hobo.
Yeah, don't we want to parlay? Rock, do we want to parlay?
Do we parlay with evil? When did we parlay with evil?
Wait, Logan always has to talk to whatever we're going to fight.
Circumstantial
This ain't
evidence.
Timor.
Well, Druben would speak up at this point and say, something was stolen from my god's temple. It needs to be returned. We are here for it. Give it and we'll leave.
Alberix is going to move away from Druben.
It looks to you, Drubrin, and he says, "Who is your god?"
And he'll gesture down to his studded leather, realizing he's forgotten to cast Prestidigitation again. And he'll cast it again, showing the emblem of the great god Inti, and proclaim with great bravado, "The Sun Lord Inti!"
You mean the dead god. He has no power in these lands.
All right, we're rolling initiative now.
Ooh,
See?
sick burn.
Are you making a move?
Yes, I will definitely with that go to cast an Eldritch Blast at this thing, saying horrible things about my lord.
Okay, go ahead. Fire away.
Well, I crit on the first one, but then I got so flustered that I probably missed on the second.
So as the first one spirals towards it, it only gets to within about 15 feet, and it dissipates and disappears. The second one arcs in a different trajectory, gets within about 15 feet, and dissipates and disappears.
But
And
it's
he
a
looks at you
crit!
and he says, "Your god has no power in these lands." And it kind of smiles at you. "You should not worship a dead god."
So
Okay.
I'm more what you'd call spiritual, and then I'm going to fire off 2 radiant sunbolts at him.
All right, hit it. Sunbolt's coming in. 19 Sunbolt fires off, gets within 15 feet, and goes dark. Disappears. The 11 flings off in another trajectory, similar to the Eldritch Blast, but different in color, and then dissipates as it gets within 15 feet. His head turns towards you. "You have no power here either. Who are these weak disciples you bring with you? Is this the last of the NT followers? No wonder NT is dead.
Rock's excited now. He's going. I'm trying. He's going to interact with a javelin and throw a javelin at him.
The
All right,
javelin
throw a
gets
javelin.
within 15 feet and disappears.
Disadvantage. Javelin misses. He stands there as the javelin flies past him. You see it shatter into the wall behind him. It did not hit him, though. It didn't go through him or hit him. It just, you missed.
Can I get a good look at this figure? What's it look?
It appears to be a cowled, slightly armored, maybe a tad ethereal, with almost like a skeletal face of a humanoid creature, but you're not quite sure of what type of creature. And it almost seems to maybe drift maybe an inch off the floor. And it says, as it draws its sword, then I guess the hidden will feed now, as its sword begins to pulse a darkness. Now we can all roll initiative.
Well, this guy sounds really great. Thank you for bringing us here.
No problem. You can add a D4 to yours if you want, Tristan.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm wasting all my crits.
15 for me, Lucian.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'm going last.
Oh, wait, I'll get that. Second to last, I am ever patient.
You have to admire that Sasha's like, screw all that extra bonuses to my saving throws. I'm going to be way over here.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about big blast radius.
Well, in his defense, the last time someone took a good look at my Inti symbol and got angry about it, I got messed up. So, yeah.
All right. So what we see then, as the round begins, you can see the sword pulse, and he moves it into his, move it in his hand. A black shield seems to form on his left arm. But Drubin is able to begin moving or deciding on what he would like to do, as he is up first.
Well, do I feel like any magic won't work, or just the magic that has been granted by Inti?
You have nothing to go on at the moment.
I figured. Well, we may as well try something from my sorcery list. I'll try Toll the Dead.
Okay.
It does look dead.
Yeah, I know, but we'll give it a go.
You see no effect and you hear no noise.
Should
Well,
that
I
be
hate this person.
2d8?
That's a good point.
That's your action.
Yes, that is my action, and I'm going to move to here and look quite angrily at it, and I'm going to try and twin spell with meta magic a shield of faith on both Tristan and Rock. Does that work?
The spell goes off. The slot has been used.
No.
The sorcery point, I assume, has been used.
So it didn't work.
You see no effect on Tristan and Rock. Whatever effect you would be looking for that you expected to see.
Well, good luck, guys.
Anything else for Drubin?
That will be my turn. I'll stand my ground where I am.
All right, Rock, you are up.
Rock is clearly distraught at the breaking of his javelin by this monster, and he will leap at him and go into a rage as he
All right.
and attack twice.
2 attacks. These are at disadvantage. You have a longsword?
He's got a shield on.
Rock is using a longsword?
Rock is using a longsword.
Okay. So yeah, the low number's 18.
There we go. 18, 9, 26, 21, 26.
Yeah, so the 18 would hit, but then the 9 would miss, and you would feel it break if it's not a magical weapon, which I don't think it is. So
A what?
The 18 would hit.
Okay. You say it broke? It breaks?
Well, you feel it chip to the point that it is now -1 damage after the second hit because you got a crit miss.
Okay. So the longsword, second one though hit.
First one hit, second one missed.
So 8.
And as you hit the creature, it is clear that though it has kind of an ethereal look to it, when your sword hit, it reverberates as if something very strong has blocked it also, and you don't feel like you did very much damage.
So things are disappearing at the 15-foot range, and then attacks against them are at disadvantage within it? Is that where...
You wouldn't know the concept of disadvantage.
The
You
mists
would see
are swirling thickly around them?
I think what you're seeing he is very defensive. So he's countering the sword blows that Rock is raining down on him. And in a real combat, think of it as it's 6 seconds. So Rock probably threw 15 different attacks. 2 of them had the real potential of getting through. And he blocked all but 1 of them through all of that and seems to be very active in his defense. Now, when you do hit him, Rock, you see what looks to be, you don't see any blood, you don't see a wound, but you see a little bit of mist kind of percolate up above where his elbow would be. And he stares at you and then waits for you to end your turn.
I give him the eyebrow too, and I'll end my turn.
All right.
People's eyebrow?
Works eyebrow.
Mistletoe is up.
Get it right.
All right. Is there any discernible kind of visual element to where we've seen the spells start to dissipate? Or is it more just they're kind of fading away and we can't really tell?
You saw 2 bolts arc straight towards him and then dissipate approximately at the 15-footish area. And then yours arced and also did the same thing. But all you've seen so far is, stuff going in at a straight line. And you wouldn't know what Drubin did with the twin spell. That wouldn't even have recognized to you. So right now you're going on a little bit of information. You're not sure.
Okay, I'm just going to assume that I missed in the darkness, and I'm going to run and try and
Well,
climb
no,
up to
you
the
would have seen
top
it
of
not
that.
get far enough. Like it didn't even get to him, so you knew it stopped
So
before
I
it went
saw
to
it
him.
dissipate.
It didn't just go around
Okay.
him. It didn't just kind of you had a bad aim. It clearly was on its way to hit him, and then it dissipated before it got there.
Okay, then I'm gonna flare up my fists and run in and try and short ribs this guy a couple times.
Now, what you notice is your fists are flared, and as you move within 15 feet, they lose their light.
Okay. Do I still feel like my key energy is flowing into my hands, but the actual the burning is not pushing off?
I think your key will still work in this, but spell effects are not going to. So burning hands isn't going to go off. I'm trying to think of anything else that might affect it. It's weird with a monk.
Yeah, because Radiant Sunbolt is technically just a basic attack. It just gives me a basic attack that is ranged. But if you want me
But
to
it turns it, I mean, the way it
fists,
happens is it's magical in some way, or it can't happen at all. Okay?
It's just a projection of my key.
Yeah.
It's not a spell in any way. So it's entirely up to you, obviously. But I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing.
Like Dragon's Breath isn't magical, right? It's just something that happens.
No, I think Dragon's Breath I would consider magical. I'm going to say just because for the effect of it, I think you're going to get your bonuses, but the light of it doesn't shine, right? You know it's something's affecting it, but I think it'll still be effective as far as to hit and to damage.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So not trusting in the ability to fire at him from range, I'm going to try and deliver these at knuckle point into his wrist.
Okay.
Am I at disadvantage?
And then at
on these?
disadvantage, yep.
I'm assuming both of those miss.
Yeah, two misses, and he dodged out of the way, almost as if he shifted from place to place, almost as quick as your eyes can track him. Even though he was still, you could hear the ringing of his sword blocking Rock's sword at the same time that you're there, because all of this is happening in the same 6 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna burn a key point and go into patient defense.
Okay. We'll put a mark on you.
Is this disadvantage because of vision?
You have no idea. He's able to parry and block and dodge very well. All done, Mistletoe?
Yep, that is it.
All right. As he begins to get surrounded by several of you, he is going to, in the middle of a parry from Rock, a dodge from Mistletoe, he turns the sword around and jams it into the ground. You hear a few words that seem to be of infernal. Anybody speak infernal?
I do.
And you hear him, what sounds like he says, and you're not sure because it's not very loud, it's maybe a name. And then it says, call to honor. And as it slams into the ground, we see shapes rise up. I need to do a roll here. D4 plus 1. All right, 4. So let's do this. 2, 3, 4.
Well, these look fun.
The swirling shape rises up, and they seem to be cloaked figures with red eyes that poke out of just the blackness of a face. And they seem to have black iron bastard swords materialize in their hands. All right, so he did that. And that's action. He's going to move to here. And actually, I think what would happen is he moves south. These guys actually are going to materialize here, like this. As he moves south, you recognize your globe that's floating there, Alberix, goes out and drops to the floor.
Okay.
So he's going to move there, and then they immediately go after him now. Oh, actually, he's going to use a bonus action. He's going to use a bonus action and swing his his sword at Rock. And you see it as it comes up out of the ground as he's done doing this summoning. It pulses black, like a deep black, pulses, and then he swings towards Rock with advantage. So let's go advantage, public, longsword. So the 25 should hit. So the first thing you feel is this iron black sword scrape across your kind of shoulder chest area. You get 9 slashing damage, and then you feel some type of necroticness seep into you as you get a further... Where's my dice roller? $10 necrotic damage. So 9 from the slashing and then 10 necrotic. Okay, so these creatures go after him. All they can do is a longsword. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, so with their action, they swing their longsword. This is just normal. We'll start with one at disadvantage against mistletoe because you have patient defense. So at disadvantage, it tries to swing at you. And it rolls a 13, which I assume you're able to dodge out of the way.
Yep, I'll fade under the blow.
Cool. One of them will swing towards... it's kind of sizing you up, so then it kind of is watching you. One tries to swing at Rock. But he doesn't have disadvantage. He just has a regular attack. So a 22 to hit Rock. So 14 slashing. Halved because you are raging. One towards Drubrin. Completely critically misses. Has trouble with its sword. And then one
towards... You don't
towards...
have disadvantage on me.
Oh, dang it. Why do I have that still on? Normal. So a 20 hits. Not a natural, though. Not a crit. For 9 slashing damage from this black-end bastard sword. They're using it two-handed. The ones that are around it. Any of you that are Lord of the Rings fans, you might think of ring wraiths kind of looking creatures. If you're not, you haven't watched that, then think of
Then what are you doing here?
You haven't
Yeah,
watched that?
stop watching the stream. Go watch
Yeah,
Fellowship of
go
the
watch
Ring and
that.
come
Don't
back.
Come
watch
back.
us.
Everybody's mic turns on.
And then a longsword hit against Alberix and is a critical failure. Look at that. A couple of critical failures there. So I'm unable to sink my sword into the Gith Zerai. That is their turn. I think they're not going to do anything else for this one as they test your defenses and feel you out. Tristan.
Dan, quick
You were-
question. Did
yeah.
Tristan's protection from evil work, or did that disappear?
You didn't notice any effect. Though I don't know if you would know what to look for on it, but you're not noticing any effect of it. Also, Tristan, the shield has gone dark.
All right. So it's like an anti-magic field or something.
Seems to be working that way.
So a question for you. Divine stuff, like turn undead, that kind of thing, do those get affected by anti-magic shields? Because they're not, I mean, they're magic, but they're not magic.
You're going to find out here in a second whenever you do it.
I would say let's do a religion check for Tristan to see if he could figure this out.
Probably not.
You are starting to worry that it's affecting the abilities you have, but you're unsure. I mean, it's almost going to be down to trying things and seeing what works. You didn't really get a good enough roll to feel confident either way.
It's a pretty safe bet that the summon things are like some type of demon or something like that, since he was speaking demon earlier.
Does your sense, is that an action or is that just something you can do?
No, I'm just assuming that when someone talks in a demon-like voice and summons things from the abyss, that it seems like they're summoning demons.
I would think you're getting more of an undead vibe.
Okay. Should work in either case if it works at all. I'm going to use my turn ability just to see what happens.
Okay. What's the DC on turning undead?
Turn the unholy. Okay, I must. There we go. Uses my divinity action. Prints an holy symbol, which is the armor.
We're in trouble, guys.
Makes a wisdom save. So for me, that should be what, a 14? Yeah, 14. Wisdom save.
All right. So, and it's a pretty big area, right?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, so that's all of them then. Okay.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. What you notice is, let's see, I always go top to bottom, so the fourth one would have been near Alberex. So it's got to go away from you, right? Spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can. It can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you.
It also can't do reactions, and it can just dodge, basically. Or dash.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, it's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think it would go there. It loses sight of you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it loses sight right about there and can't even see you. Alberix would get an attack of opportunity.
Does it run on their turn?
I think it runs on my turn, doesn't it?
Does a 19 hit?
Well, it says for its action, it can only use the dash. So I guess it does move on. It's going to dash away on its turn when it comes back around. And you can keep that 19 Alberix for
Thanks.
for the come around. So we'll let it happen in the order that it's supposed to. Because it doesn't really say, it doesn't say immediately or... But it has to
Well,
spend its
Make
normally-
it
action.
happen. If you made it happen now, it would be a lot easier.
I'm sure it would. But it says for its action, it can only use the deck. Turn creature must spend its turns trying to move. So it has to spend its turn trying to move, not your turn. Okay.
Yep.
Anything
And
else,
if-
Tristan? So you actioned. Now,
Yep.
what you recognize is you see your holy symbol light up. You feel the warmth and the power penetrating this circle, but only one of them you could tell was affected by it. The other ones made their saves. So they are able to shake that off.
Okay. So I make a point of yelling to Alberix that if you damage it, it breaks the effect. And then I'm going to move there.
Cool. Anything else for Tristan?
Nope. I'm going to wait to use my reaction to protect somebody, hopefully.
All right. Alberix is up.
So he's hollered. Do I notice a difference in the state of this critter next to me?
I think you would notice that it's going to try to move away from Tristan. And I also think you would recognize that once Tristan left its field of vision, it seems to be turning back around.
Oh, it can't see me?
There's a rock there.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So it's
All
in
right.
it's in the motion of leaving currently. So I think you would be able to deduce that you could move now and nothing's going to happen, but you recognize that
It says see
it's
or
lost
hear.
interest in you for the moment.
It doesn't need to see me. It says see or hear. It can still hear me.
All right, I'm going to move here. And when I do, I am going. So I am going to cast this over here.
Okay.
And I'll take the middle. So I want 4 challenge rating, 1 beast.
Challenge rating 1.
Yep.
Okay. And so you get how many of those? Just 2?
4.
Is that right? I thought you got 4 half.
I get.
Oh, maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Oh, wait. 2 beasts of challenge, 1. I'm sorry. I wanted 4 beasts of half. I'm sorry. I wanted the middle one. My apologies. I read that wrong where it was.
4 beasts of half would be... All right. That is going to be... Ooh, interesting.
No whammy.
Reef sharks.
Let me get my tokens out.
Dire octopuses.
You could have had 8 Chads. Just saying.
He would never give me 8 Chads. I already know better. Chads and wolves are off the list. Cedric, do you have curly hair?
I did long ago. I had big Shirley Temple curls in high school down to my shoulders.
Shut up.
Yeah, like giant ringlets. Shaved it off in
I-
a rugby bet, and then I went bald.
Picture, or I don't believe.
And then I went
I've got a
bald.
couple digging around. Let me see if I can find them.
I just imagine anybody that shaves their head has curly hair. And I've already asked Tom before.
No, like I had like Shirley Temple ringlets down to my shoulders and earrings. I was a hippie.
That's what mine did too.
Was a hippie.
Yeah, now I work for an advertising company.
All right.
Just
You should have
hippiness out the
control.
door.
Olo's a
can-
flashback
These
to my
are
high school
sweet.
experience.
You can fill out their hit points and their stuff in their things. Go ahead and roll one. Just roll one initiative for them, and they'll all go at the same time. If they lose your vision, I'm going to take control of them. So you tell me what they want to do. If they stay within your vision, I'm letting you control them.
Done. So I got a 19, but I couldn't click on them. So I have a 19 in it.
All right, I'll put it in there.
And as soon as I can click on them, I'll get to editing and what.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Roll 20 is moving slow, so give me a sec. It's running like Tomb of Annihilation.
Eep.
Slow.
I'm probably just having an infectious nature on it. So I
All right.
apologize in advance if we all die.
It's alright, if we die, we'll just, destroy Tomb of Annihilation in a fit of rage.
All right, so anything else for Alberix? You moved, you cast a spell.
Yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action as he kind of levels his quarterstaff and casts psychic energy, kind of rails along the side of it and makes a spear point. I'm going to cast Shalala.
Cool. All right, that brings us to Eingar. Everybody's moving quicker than the dwarf today. Dwarf's up.
Yeah. This is all happening at the same time, so he's going to take crossbow shots at that guy, the main guy. That guy, because he's being that guy.
All right, so you will notice they're at disadvantage as he's doing stuff. Oh, wait. No, his turn went, so it's normal. But you will not get the +1.
Okay.
Actually, you don't have real bolts, do you? It makes the bolts, doesn't it?
It makes the bolts.
It gets within 15 feet and the bolt disappears.
Damn it!
Ah! Okay.
Oh, man.
I will interact with my crossbow, put it away,
Okay.
and I will begin taking out weapons. I don't believe I will get to finish those. Unless I can do that as a bonus action.
No, you get to do 2 of them. So you could put one away, draw 1. You could drop it, draw 2.
Well, I've got dual wielder.
Right, so you
But
can
I
do
can
2
draw 2 at
interactions,
once.
whereas everybody else can only do 1.
Oh, okay. I'll put the crossbow away and draw 1.
Okay. Any movement or just going to hang out there?
I'm going to move up.
All right, what did you draw?
I drew the vicious short sword.
Okay. You recognize that it's being affected when you move in closer.
Okay.
So count it as just a regular sword at this point.
All right.
Okay. Anything
That's my
else?
action. Nope.
All right. Next. Do they show their hand?
No.
I'm worried to think of what the hand they haven't shown is.
Nope. I think it's going to wait. Drubrin is up. Round number 2.
Well, Druberin is going to just suddenly assume that nothing's going to work, and he's going to pull out a dagger from his side and try and stab the guy in front of him.
All right, swing away. 24 hits. 6 piercing damage.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to convert a warlock spell slot into some sorcery points.
All right, what does that look like in game?
It looks like his hand will just like it's like a crushing light orb that'll then go through him, and it looks like he's been revitalized somehow. But yeah, it's just sorcery points.
Cool. All right. Anything else for Drubrin?
I will stand my ground and stay where I am.
All right, Rock is up.
Rock has seen every attack fade on this guy. His didn't do much damage. He is going to drop his shield and attempt to grapple.
Cool. So an opposed check. Normal.
Oh, wow.
You reach your arms around him, and as he does that, he kind of just stiff arms you and pushes you right back as you stumble back into your 5 feet where you started.
Can you make more than one grapple if you've got more than one attack?
The grapple is an action. It's not an attack.
It says for extra attack, you can replace one of your extra attacks to do a grapple. So you can do one per attack in the player's handbook anyway.
I will swing the longsword then.
Cool.
I will swing it two-handed.
Yeah, why not? 19 hits.
$15.
Okay. So that's only... All right. And you notice that it clangs off some of the armor of this creature, and it doesn't seem to bite as deep as you expect it to. What's the -1 for? Is it not fixed?
It's that crap weapon. I rolled a 1 on the last attack.
Oh, that's right. All right. Anything else for Rock?
That's it.
Mistletoe, you were up.
All right, getting the sense that this guy is big bad news. I'm gonna try and lay into him a couple more times with the flared fist. Am I still at disadvantage on this?
Does not appear to be. You can just roll normal. The 24 lands, and the 15 he smacks your hand aside so it does not hit or kick or whatever you were doing with the second.
10 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to burn a key point and attempt to do stunning strike.
What's your DC?
Pretty shit. It's only a 13.
27?
That could work.
Yeah, it's DC 80. Yeah, he's fine.
Seems to be unaffected.
I'm going to spend one more key point and flurry of blows him for 2 more shots.
Ooh, 2 hits.
Nice.
For another 17 points of radiant.
Nicely done.
I'm just like driving the punches into his short ribs going, do we have a plan?
All right. Anything else for Mistletoe?
Negatory.
All
It's
right.
always planned.
So 3 strikes on him. Definitely he turns to face you. Seeing you as a threat.
When he goes to inevitably attack Mistletoe, I'll use my shield to make it a disadvantage.
Yeah, he's gonna. You see him swing his longsword at him. So first one's at disadvantage. Does a 23 get through?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, 9 slashing damage. As what we see is your shield moves to get in the way, and he just bounces it, uses the momentum of the bounce off the shield and drags it across Mistletoe, bleeding, putting a small gash across maybe just the forehead area. Then you can see the sword start to twirl around as a second one comes at you. Just a normal.
Oh, I think my wasps got missed. So can they go now?
No, they rolled a higher. They got 19, didn't they? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll let them go here in just. I'll let them go before the medium guys here. He should be. Yeah. Okay. I'll let him finish his thing and then you can go. So the 12, I assume you are able to dodge that.
Yes.
And then as the first one hit and it causes a wound on Mistletoe's forehead, you see the black blade pulse, kind of like a darkness. And then as he swings it by again, it's going right towards him, and Mistletoe dodges, pushing the flat of the blade out of the way, and it pulses again. And then on the third time, it flares with a dark energy as he swings at you with advantage one more time. For a 19, he gets 12 slashing damage, and the pulse of the iron sword as it hits releases some necrotic energy. And you also take 12 necrotic damage. A huge hit from a 12 slashing and a 12 necrotic. Ooh. This sword is for real.
Well, in about one flurry, most of Mistletoe's life is carved away and pure panic sets in across her face.
Giant wasps.
All right, these wasps are going to swarm on this dude.
Yeah, you tell them attack and they swarm forward. Everybody can now hear, though they may not be able to see them very well, can hear this large buzzing sound to the south.
There's angry noises coming from them.
These are Australian wasps, just so you know.
Does that mean they fly to the left?
Yeah.
You should have inspiration for that.
So, an 11, a 14, a 16, and a 13.
One hit, sir.
That is 5 piercing plus 12 poison.
You recognize that the stinger hits it, barely gets through, and you're pretty sure it is not affected by poison at all.
And they're, for what it matters, their attacks count as magical. Because I'm a mighty summoner.
Cool. Wait, which was the one that hit? I see an 11, a 14, and a 13.
There was a 16 as well. Just above the 13.
Oh, it didn't come through. Do you know which one that was? Oh no, it wouldn't have mattered. You used the same sheet, right?
Yeah, I did.
You broke it.
All right. What was the damage? Because I don't see that attack anywhere.
It was 5 damage piercing plus 12 poison damage, which did.
Got it.
It's radiant venom.
Okay. Is it?
Yeah.
All right. So their turn. So this one's obviously, it's still within 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It's at the range. Is it 30? Let's look. No, it needs to be 5
He's
more
been
feet.
hit anyway.
Oh, and he took damage. Yeah. Okay. But it can decide to disengage 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It disengages and moves to a position next to the thing that summoned it. One swings at Mistletoe. So it's going to do a longsword. Critically miss. In all of its anger, it's going to use Martial Fury. So as a bonus action, it's going to take one more swing. This one's at advantage. Still misses. It's so mad that it can't hit you. Yeah, so that's all it can do. So Mistletoe escapes my wrath. One swings at Rock. It's just an 8. And then with anger, it tries to... Oh, wait, were you going reckless, Rock?
Nope.
You didn't? Okay, so it's going to use Martial Fury to give it itself a bonus attack. But this one will be at advantage. So the 25. So 12 slashing damage from a bastard sword being used in 2 hands, a black iron bastard sword. And then, yeah, Drubin's still there. Let's try to swing in Drubin. So first is a normal attack. Ruh-roh.
Thanks, Lucian.
That would be 13 slashing Drubin. And then in its zeal that it sees it's hit him so hard, it's going to use Martial Fury, give itself a bonus attack. This one will be at advantage. For a 15? I might miss.
I'm going to cast shield and block that.
Okay. So we see you flare off with a shield, and it blocks the black iron sword, digs across it, and sparks shoot off as it keeps it from hitting you. And it is done. Actually, then I think what it will do is it will maneuver here. You may have a attack of opportunity if you wish to use it, Drubin.
I guess cast shield, so I can't.
Oh, that sucks. All right. They are done. Tristan is up.
All right. And you said attacks are at disadvantage?
No. Who are you attacking?
The main guy.
No, just normal.
All right.
His longsword parries your longsword in sparks of steel on steel. You were able to maneuver it around and flat snap him for 9 points.
Quick question. Is he a fiend or an undead?
He's an undead.
All right, because he's going to take a bit more damage. And that's radiant.
You do not see the expected flash that you normally have grown and accustomed to. It does not go off.
But the spell itself goes off, or the effect, I mean. Like, it used the spell slot.
It used it, yeah. You feel the link to Torm is lessened.
All right.
Something is clouding it, like you can almost feel it.
Like a cloud. Weird.
Weird.
Okay. Yep. That's fine. I'm done.
All right. Alberix is up.
The statue, what's it made out of?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You're not sure. 25 feet away in the darkness, in the fog. Probably stone.
All right, I'm going to go on the other side of it. And I'm going to cast Thunder Wave on it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to destroy this thing. Actually, I'm going to do it right here so I can try to catch this dude too.
Cool.
So he runs across through the mists, and then when he gets there, he kind of slides and then swings his staff out. As he does, there's an arc of power and noise as the thunder rips through the air.
Cool.
So 11 points of damage.
So you recognize the thunder wave from you gets to here and dissipates.
So it doesn't even hit the statue.
It hits a slight bit of the outside. You see cracks and shatter, but nothing moves forward. So you see some spray off like this way, just because it shattered and it couldn't go any further.
Does anything seem to well, I can't really tell because I can't see him or nothing.
I think enough has happened that you guys realize that there is a 15-foot circle around this guy stopping spells.
Oh yeah.
Definitely figured that out.
The tactical retreat, definitely, if nothing else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, neither does Druben.
He means tactic 1. Run away, run away.
That was my turn.
All right. No, Eingar, you're up.
Actually, I wanted to use a bonus. I can't. I cast a first level spell. My apologies. I was going to heal, but I'm done.
Okay. Are you sure?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay, Eingar's up.
Igar's going to finish pulling out a second weapon, those Warhammer,
Cool.
and then start attacking.
Yeah. Who are you attacking?
The main guy right here.
Okay.
And we'll go with the short sword first. So I'll have to take a -1 on the attack on that.
Oh, not with the vicious. That's so sad.
It is because the -1 is only to damage and to hit, but a crit doesn't matter. You still crit because you roll a natural 20. So you crit. So just roll 2 dice for the short sword and add your strength modifier, I believe.
All right.
Normally it would have been 3 dice for him, but it's 2.
Let me see, what is that?
That's still good damage.
Those are 6. Those are 8s.
Short sword is a D6, I believe.
D6. All right. 2d6.
And then plus your strength modifier.
Strength would be +3.
So 11.
Would that still be doubled? Or that's a 2d6 is doubled. Or,
Yeah.
Never mind. Also, I've got Colossus Slayer going. So he was damaged, correct?
He is damaged.
So that's doubled as well.
And that is not a magic thing. That's just my tenacity wears him down.
Yeah, I think I would go with that.
So 6 doubled is 12.
Well, you would roll
Oh, wait.
roll another dice. So roll. So one was a roll of 6, and one was a roll of what? Oh no, it's a D8. I'm sorry. So roll two
Yeah, it's a
1d8s. Yeah.
That's what I did. I've got a button just for Colossus Slayer.
Looks like
Oh,
you
one's a
got
3
nine.
and one's a 6, so 9 total.
Yeah. 9
Got
total.
it. 9 total. You do recognize that it's only doing about half of that damage.
Okay. And I'm going to swing with the Warhammer.
He
14.
is able to parry the Warhammer. You miss.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right.
I'm just happy I did a little bit of damage. Little wisps of smoke or something come off of him.
Yeah, tiny bit.
Hey, Bruce, you actually get 2 attacks and then 1 bonus attack.
So I can...
Yeah, you
I
get
get
one
2
more
attacks,
short
but-
sword attack. You
One
gotta
more
roll
short
of
sword.
them.
Okay, that's right. 17.
Miss.
Okay.
And it would
Thank
be
you.
a 16, but yeah, it's a miss.
Oh, yeah, 16.
So he parries that and then parries the Warhammer. Any movement? Are you staying there?
I'll stay there.
All right. Next to
What are you got a -1 to hit for there?
Because
Yeah, I
the
was
vicious
just about to
short
ask.
sword is magical, +1.
Oh, so it's normal.
Yeah,
It-
it's a normal
is
hit
it a
instead of
+1?
magical.
Yeah, I thought the vicious was just the effect. I didn't know it was actually +1 to hit.
It is
Yeah,
just
on
the
the
effect.
it says Warhammer and Vicious Short Sword both have a +6 to hit.
let's see.
So what's the -1 from?
Let me look that up.
You rolled a 1 earlier, so you have a -1 to damage. Is that it?
Hold up.
It's a magic sword still, but who knows?
Yeah, it wouldn't be damaged. It just any magic item loses its ability, its magic in this zone.
I don't think that he had a bonus to hit with that thing. I think it was only a
I
good
think-
critical weapon.
He might not.
Yeah, I think it
don't
is
know.
only.
It should be in
but-
the little thing I gave him.
Yeah.
The handout.
But the 17 still misses anyway, right?
Right.
Yep, 17 missed.
I'll look at the handout.
Ooh, something new is on the turn order.
Yeah, you see out of the corner of your eye, Alberix, something materialize 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, right at the edge of where you can see. As it begins to cast a spell, and you recognize that it's coming out of invisibility as it starts to cast the spell. So you see the invisibility drop effect. It seems to have a shimmer to it, as if you can't quite tell where it's actually at. It's kind of like it's bouncing back and forth between a couple of spots. And then the spell, he holds out his hand towards you, and we try a little bit of... Oh, I guess I have to move. No, wait, what?
Maybe I shouldn't have attacked its statue.
The vicious short sword is not a +1. It's just added damage.
Yeah, so he would know it's a 15 foot, so he's going to move 5, 10 to get within 15. And a dazzling array of flashes and colored light streams towards Alberix. So I'm going to roll 6d10, and that's how many hit points it's going to affect. There's no other person in the 15-foot cone, so either I get Alberix or I don't. So 6d10. $32. How many hit points you got?
35.
Oh, it dissipates off you, and he blows that spell slot.
My God. What's this thing
Nice.
look like now that it's close to me?
This appears to be a human whose face is covered, is wearing a cloak, mostly wearing robes. Does not look like the other creatures at all.
Okay.
So he still has movement, so he's going to continue to move out of sight, I guess. This would be out of your sight, most likely. There we go. Drubrin is up.
All right, I'm going to drop my dagger and pull out my old trusty light crossbow, which I've had forever, and hope that it can hit this stupid mofo that seems to be blocking all of my damn magic. And as I do, I yell out, "Inti, guide me!"
Inti appears to be listening.
And I deal 9 damage, which will probably be halved because it doesn't like normal damage. And yeah, I think that's my turn.
Yeah, but the bolt sinks into it. We see some of the oily smoke come out of it, but it doesn't seem to penetrate very far. Anything else for Drubrin?
That's probably it for now.
Rock is up.
Rock panics, tosses that stupid human-made longsword across the room, interacts with his great axe, and will attack recklessly with great weapons mastery on the main bag.
So you're dropping the sword and the shield, going
I
for
am.
your axe?
The shield was gone long ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. 19 hits.
Rolls for crap. Uh, 19.
All right. Anything else for Rock? As the great axe bites in and then misses a second time. The Wasps, did they have a command?
They
Alberix?
do. So,
Shout the command to me.
that dude left where how tall is the ceiling in here?
In areas, it's probably 15 or 20. In other areas, it's probably up to 50 or 60.
Can they get above the big bad here? I want to try to fly them up so they're above. I want to tell them to go to the ceiling so they're out of his anti-magic thing.
Yeah, there's probably small portions of it that are still lower.
Otherwise, I'll tell them to fly around the edge over here.
Okay.
You know.
What's their movement? Is flying 50?
Yeah.
So 5, 10, 15,
But
20, 25, 30.
I'm
35,
as
40,
I'm giving
45,
my
50.
command, I'm telling them flying along the edge so they stay away from all that hoopla. All right, I got my bees with me. Killer bees attack. Now I'm actually going to have them do a dash action and head all the way around to this side. Okie dokie.
Yeah, you can just barely see him at the edge of your vision.
I can't see him on the map anymore.
Yep.
Great.
Oh no, you should be able to see him.
No, I can see the bees. The squares above him are empty.
Yeah, you don't see anything there.
Okay. Did I see him cast anything as he moved that way?
So mistletoe's up. No, you were pretty busy at the spot you were at. You might have caught some movement, but you're not sure where or what happened.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a key start cast to spend a key point to Step of the Wind, and I'm going to disengage. Wasps are, and do I see like there's a limited amount of cave wall where there isn't wasps?
Yeah. I mean, yep. That's all you see is up in that. You see the wasps are flying around up in this top part, and it seems pretty empty.
Then I guess I'm gonna fire blindly into that one, hoping to catch this guy, assuming that he's gone invisible again. I'm assuming disadvantage.
Yeah, go ahead and fire it off. What are you seeing? Is it this?
19 and an 8.
Oh, I bet it's this. You see it hit the back of the cave wall. 2 bolts.
Okay.
That's what it was. That light wasn't actually shining. I was thinking you could see a little too far. Okay, anything else for mistletoe?
Nope.
All right. Bad guy. He says something in Infernal. Mistletoe, you can speak it, right?
Correct.
All right. So, as it happens, I'll just send it to you in Discord here just a second. And they maneuver. Five, 10, 15. Tristan, you have an ability on an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Nope. I'm going to hold off.
Okay. And then it turns and I think it's going to swing at Tristan this time. No. He's going to cut his way towards Drubrin. So he's going to go 5 as he begins to move.
Leaving?
Yep, as he begins to move.
If the main guy's leaving, I'll swing at him.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I thought you were talking about the add-ons. Sorry.
Well, them too. One of them moved, and you would be able to attack one of them. But then he moves, yeah, so you can swing. and he's able to bat it away as you swing. Rock, you get an attack of opportunity. 19 hits.
Woo!
Nice.
23.
Nice.
I think I'm just gonna hide his shield and sword from now on.
And then he's going to attack Eingir. So let me just make sure. Yep, so here we go. So longsword number 1. Does a 17 hit?
Just hits.
So 8 slashing damage. Longsword number 2. 21 for 7 slashing damage. And then you feel the blade pulse each time it digs into you, almost as if it's sapping some of your energy. The blade pulses darkly. And by the third one, as it tries to swing at you, gets advantage. Hits with a 21 again for 8 slashing, and then 14 necrotic.
Ooh.
As the and you see the sword pulse as it digs into you, and you can feel the necrotic skin start to decay around the wound.
That hurt.
And then he's going to move closer to Drubrin as he points the sword to him, as he tries to cut down your companions, moving ever so slowly towards you. That's his turn. Then the other guys get to go. They were ordered, so they will swing a longsword at Rock. So longsword. You said reckless?
I did.
Ooh, advantage. 14 slashing. Martial Fury. And then misses on the second one for the first guy. That is the guy to the north of you, straight north. The guy to the north and west of you is going to do the same thing. So longsword. And the second swing. So 23 would hit for 12. Does 15 hit? Probably not.
No.
15 misses. Third guy, straight south of you, swings. 17. 14 slashing. 18, 8 slashing.
Okay.
Last guy, swinging at you. You can tell all of them are focused on Rock. 19 for 5 slashing. And if we said a 15 was a miss, right?
Yep.
Miss. All right. They all attacked recklessly. So anybody attacking those guys will know that they have advantage on the attack. That brings us to Tristan. Tristan's up.
Which of the guys of the 3 I can reach is most damage fighting on me and Rock? Or looks damaged at all, for that matter?
The one south of Rock, but these creatures have almost not taken any damage. Everybody's focused on the main guy.
All right. The
Maybe
guys
gets that one dagger attack.
Yep. The one to the north of Rock, is it outside the 15 feet from the big bad guy? Looks
Possibly.
like it is 20 feet out.
Yeah, approximately.
Is my shield working?
No, it is not. That was a good check, though. I almost got you. I almost got those spell slots from you.
I feel like we should run. We're not going to win this. We've done almost no damage. None of our abilities work.
Dude, we're not even in a good spot to run.
Yeah, we're cut off. Running's not an option.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in a good spot to run.
Well, they only get one opportunity attack each, right? So
That is true.
if all of us run at once, we each take one hit, basically.
If someone breathes on me, I'm dead.
Well, that would be problematic.
And Alberix is going to heal her right now.
Yeah, because I can't. If I stay here and fight next to Rock, I can't heal anybody. I can't use my smites. So
Could
I'm
you 5-foot step
ineffectual
farther away?
and
Yeah.
take multiple opportunity attacks.
You're
yeah.
only going to take two opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
We have to use strategery, bro.
Well,
if you-
I
if
do
you-
like my George W. Bush, but
Who doesn't? Just saying, I don't think running's an option just yet. Not opposed to it, just don't think we can do it this second.
well, waiting's not going to make it better. You're going to have less hit points when you decide to leave. That's fine. I like making new characters anyway.
I like
I'm going to
that
move up
attitude.
one. So you can attack me twice if you want.
The shield, the light of the shield returns. Yeah, they will definitely, obviously take an attack of an opportunity. That is the warriors. Here we are. So longsword number 1. It's a 23 hit.
Yep.
7 slashing. Crit for 15 slashing. They are swinging their weapons recklessly. So a total of 22 or 3 or something like that. And anything else for Tristan? That's just move. So you
That's
still
just
have.
moving. Yeah,
You got
I'm
plenty.
going to attack the guy closest to me twice.
Swing away. You get advantage, so you can roll twice. So 25 is pretty high, but see if you get a crit.
1 second.
So nope, we'll take the 25. So 11 damages it.
Nope, more than that. 2 attacks and then 2 smites. These are undead also, right?
Well, let's. Yeah, they are undead.
See if your first one blows them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go through it slowly here. So 11 definitely hit, and you're gonna blow a smite on it.
Well, yeah, sure.
You don't have to.
15. No, I'm definitely smiting it.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
15
catching
damage.
Right, so-
Not smiting is not an option.
right.
26.
Okay, so it
Yeah,
looks
26
very
on the
wounded,
first
but
attack.
not. So then the second one swings in, and you got a 24. So that would hit for 7.
7.
It
then
is.
I was going to smite
Give
that
me
one
a second.
also.
Yes, it is still standing.
No, not
So
for long.
now you can use another one. It dissipates. Turns into black, oily smoke.
And that was first level and a second level used on smites, just so you know.
Cool. The black iron sword, bastard sword that was carrying, crashes to the floor. You hear it kind of clank as it hits the floor, and then it rusts away and turns to just nothing but black soot and dust.
For the record, Tom, that should have been 66 on the second one.
What?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It doesn't double for that. It gives you an extra D8. My bad.
Right.
Is it my turn?
So that was
My last bit of movement.
2 attacks, movement, any bonus? Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Alberix is up.
All right, Alberix is going to move right up here to Homegirl. And right before he does so, I'm going to use my bonus action to throw down my totem.
Cool. Let me grab totem.
I'm gonna throw down the totem of the unicorn so that maybe we can find them. It gives us advantage to finding hidden mages that are fucking with us. Oh, it also gives healing bonuses too.
And is also Dan's all-time favorite.
Mm-hmm. It is.
If you're being sarcastic.
Am I anything else?
I have yet to make a character that Dan likes. I think he liked Joseph. Okay.
He was a great character. I like Albrix. Okay, so I think you can move it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, what's its aura? I'll put an aura on it.
I got it.
Okay.
All right. Now that as Albirix runs up and he's kind of moving around in the mist, kind of bumps up against the wall and throws his hand out as this thing materializes over here, and his hand touches mistletoe, and he speaks a word of power and casts Cure Wounds.
Cool. Albrix, go ahead.
No, you please go ahead.
So as that healing's happening, I think just before, out of the corner of your eyes, you see the creature snap its eyes over towards your totem, and he begins to turn.
All right. She is going to get 15 points of healing. And then Rock and Tristan are going to get 6 points of healing.
Rock does not.
Tristan does. Sad for Rock. So the big bad looks at my totem, huh?
Yeah, has like a beeline stare at it.
All right. So I used both of my my things, and then I am going to call to the bees to attack this creature. They go on 19 though.
Oh, sorry.
They are eager.
All right. Then we're at Eingar.
I still don't like this guy, so I'm going to start with the Warhammer on him. I believe I recognize him as undead, right?
Yeah, he's undead.
All right. 25?
Yeah, 25 hits.
All right.
Does this thing even look bothered by all this?
Yeah, you guys are chipping him away. I mean, there's pieces that are being chipped out of his armor, out of his clothing. It has a weird incorporeal kind of appearance to it, but you're definitely doing damage to it. So 8, 9, 10, 11. And then Colossus there.
Yeah. 24. 11. Another 11. And then I can swing the short sword, right? For my bonus action.
Correct.
17.
Misses.
All right. And that's it.
That is it. All right. What do I want to do with this guy? Oof. Let me look at what he's got left. All right. So I'm thinking he comes into view. Out of the mist and smoke. Man. He is going to... So he gets, how many does he get? 3? 3. So slamming into Tristan. Black darts of magic. 5, 4, and 4.
Does dude show up?
Yeah, you can see him. And actually, as he's casting it, you can tell it breaks some type of, or actually no, he came out of the darkness from around the corner here. So you've seen him come from this direction, depending on who has line of sight. He fires that off, and then he goes 5, 10, 15 to there. That is his turn. Okay. Actually, would he do that? He is going to bonus action 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Appears out of a smoke as a bonus action.
If he used Misty Step, he can only cast 1 spell per turn.
Sure. Drubrin, give me a intelligence check. Or no, I'm sorry, a perception check. As he appears near you. I want to see if you're paying attention to the creatures ahead or if you notice him. Oh, you do. Okay. You see the staff is in his hands. And he looks like he's heading for the exit.
Okay, well, Drubrin is going to move. Yeah,
that was
Drubrin's
poorly timed.
Go,
that was a mistake.
15. He's going to go 30 feet to there. And feeling quite endowed by his powers, he is at first going to cast a spell.
No, not a spell.
Yeah, spell. Okay, so he's going to use Quickened Spell to cast Eldritch Blast as a bonus action. Against this priest guy, of course, I roll like crap.
1 hit.
For 7 damage, and then as my action, I'll cast another 2 Eldritch Blasts. How about that?
1 more hit.
Ah, bummer. For a whole 5. Look at that.
But you recognize that both of those blasts, when they hit, seem to be much bigger than you normally notice them to be.
Oh, lovely. Well, I hope that Inti favors me, and that I actually could I retcon something real quick? Could I have used my ability favored by the gods on that last Eldritch Blast?
Sure. Does it take an action or a bonus action or something, or just?
If I fail an attack roll or a saving throw for using nothing, I can roll 2d4 and add it to the attack roll.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna get a 16.
Does that hit?
16 does hit.
For another 7.
Nice.
And that's me done.
Yeah, that hurt him for sure. I should have waited till you were. All right, cool. Mr.
Waited
Rock
till
is
the
up.
Big bad guy killed me.
Rock's mad.
Rock
Rock's
mad.
swinging. The one to the south of me is injured. He will swing at him first. And they all attacked recklessly, correct? So
They did.
am I attacking? All right. So I'm not going to attack recklessly back. I'm just going to do normal attacks, but then it'll be at advantage, correct?
Correct. Yep. One miss. 19 hits.
25.
Yeah. Okay. You do not feel like it bit down on them as hard as you would expect.
That's the one that
Has been hit before.
Okay.
Hey, Lucian.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Agonizing Blast wasn't being added to those Eldritch Blasts. It should have been plus my Charisma, so it should have been 9 more damage in total. 3 for each blast. Sorry, my bad.
Minus 9. Okay, got it.
All right. If that guy doesn't die, that's it for Rock.
Yep, he does not go down. Wasps. Oh, they were given an order. They move in. Move in.
Get him.
Move in. One moves in, not very smart, and seems to disappear.
Just withers.
3 attacks from the Wasps. Go ahead. 17's a hit. 9 is a miss.
3 points of damage.
Is there 3 attacks, or I only see 2?
The last one was a crit.
I bet.
A crit miss.
Oh, I'm not getting the 3rd attack for some reason. That's weird.
Oh no.
Do you like spam the button really quickly? Because sometimes I find
spam it.
Yeah.
I only see 2.
Minus 3, minus 1, I guess. All right, so I guess that's minus 1 point of
Does that
damage.
matter?
Anything else? The Wasps are ordered to attack, so that's what they do. Mistletoe is up.
Alright, so seeing Tristan's sword flare to light and some spells begin to kick off, I'm going to try and leap to the top of the stack to get some vision on what's going on.
Cool.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna fire down 2 blasts at the one that's surrounded by Wasps and Rock and Tristan and all.
Yeah, he's getting way beat up.
Wait, I'm for some reason.
No, you're okay.
Rolling with
25
disadvantage, I don't
hits,
know why.
27 hits. Both hit.
Uh, 15 points of radiant.
The 27 was a crit, right?
Oh, yes, it was. So that'd be 20 points of radiant.
Why didn't that show up as green?
I was rolling with disadvantage instead of advantage.
Why would you do that?
Because I was on toggle from the last time I tried to hit an empty wall.
You're a known toggler.
This is accurate. Is he still up?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, then I will use my bonus action to hit him again. And
Okay.
miss.
Yep. It hits the floor of the cave. Mr. Bad Guy ignores Eingar. 5, 10, 15.
Do I get a shot at him?
Yeah. Yep, you will. Totem goes down. Those dissipate. So he only moved 5, 10, 15, 20. Would put him there. I'm going to move this dead guy out of the way just for a second.
Would the drift globe come back up?
Yeah.
What a like horrific cavern of like swirling mists and screaming and clashing.
Okay. So he sees that the totem goes down, which is what he wanted. That was his main goal. He seemed very fixated on it. I think he would look at Alberex and say, keep your blasphemy away from this holy place. And he is going to try to cut down our divine warrior here, Tristan, as he stares at your symbol intently, swinging the sword. Normal. Here we go. 21 for 8 slashing damage. Swing number 2. An 11. You would block with your... You have a shield, right? Yep. You shield. The black iron smashes against the shield. You can see when the first one hits you, as if it was absorbing some power from you, it pulses in blackness, and then it hits your shield. Sparks fly off, and it pulses in blackness, and now it's radiating with darkness, and he goes into a fury for a final advantageous hit. Oh, but misses with the 12. Torm moves your arm with stunning speed as it crashes down, and you block the blow. You feel your connection to Torm strengthen slightly as he's pushing through and trying to aid you in this battle.
Because Torm rocks.
And then in Infernal, he says the same instructions, so you recognize what he says, Mistletoe.
Okay.
And those creatures begin to recklessly attack Rock once again. So
I just wish they wouldn't attack Rock.
So 25 for 5 slashing, and then crit for 14 slashing. Second one rolls an 18. Does 18 get through your AC?
Yep.
For 14 slashing, goes reckless. Rolls a 19 for 7 slashing. Rock still up.
4 hit points.
Final blow, normal. 24 for 5 slashing. Takes one last advantage shot. Or an 18, 13 slashing. And we just see the swords just kind of they're all just hacking and hacking and hacking. Rock's doing everything he can to stay alive as certain ones are slipping through. He's blocking half of them, but then falls to the ground, correct?
No.
Oh, you're still up? Did you say you had 4 hit points left?
Relentless endurance.
Nice. So you're at 1?
Yep.
Nice. So you go, they beat it down to a knee, and it looks like you're going to fall over. And then you half orcish out. And you do the Hulk Hogan, the arm shake. The Macho Man puts his hand up. All right. He makes it. These things are super angry. Tristan's up.
All right. Do I feel like I have a strong enough connection to use my lay on hands, or is that not going to work this close to this guy?
Yeah, you think turning is work because it's powered through your symbol and it can't block that ability, but it can block most of other Torm's granted gifts to you.
All right. Let's see. What's more beat up, the main bad or the evil barbarian thing? Of the two I can see.
The one that everybody was attacking has taken a huge amount of damage. Though the main bad guy has taken a lot too. He's just slightly more healthy than the other. I mean, it would be a toss up if you could even really tell. But technically, the one that's been beat on is definitely more damaged. So
right.
This one right here.
Okay, then I'll attack that one. Try
Okay.
to get that down. Assume a 22 will hit. So
Yeah, smashes right through for 7.
I assume that probably misses.
And yes, the 14 misses.
All right.
Anything else for Tom?
Not what I can do. No. Could I?
Oh, dang it.
Nah, I'm just done.
I forgot, Drubin, you had disadvantage on those attacks. Damn it. Okay. Alberix is up.
I'm going to move here and cast the insect swarm.
Sweet.
Hang on one. All right, it's a 20-foot radius sphere. So I'm going to center. I'm just going to put the drift globe and then I'll center it on. If that's all right.
I'm going to give you a token. Hold on.
Because then I can just.
Well, there's a token right next to you.
Oh, I like your token.
Okay, so you move and cast using the staff, I assume?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm going to run down here, and as he does, he swings the staff out, and all of those weird nodules start to come to life and scurry down the end of it, and then a thoracian sphincter opens up and then poops this thing out.
Very cool. Anything else?
So he takes 25 points of damage. I'll put it in the thing real quick.
Con.
I rolled 25 twice. DC 16 to save for half.
Let's see what he can do. Ooh, gets a 12. All right.
So he'll take 25 points of damage, and then also is I think it's difficult terrain. So it's difficult terrain.
Cool. Anything else?
I'm going to use my bonus action to relight my staff once more with a psychic spear because it went out when I got near the big bad guy. Does the dude with the staff does not die?
No. In fact, you see a bubble around him radiating from the staff that he carries.
As like the insects are like falling off of it and trying to gnaw it. All right. Well, that's where I'm at. And I'm going to call out to Eingeir. Don't back up. Go forward. Go at him.
Got it.
You hear a furious noise of buzzing behind you. Uncomfortably loud. All right, Eingeir's up.
Well, I'm going to go. I want to get rid of this anti-magic, so I'm going to swing around here. They'll get one shot at me, right?
One of them will, yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm going to swing my warhammer into the back of this guy.
Oh, crit you for 15 points of damage.
All right. That hurt.
Yeah, you turned your back on it thinking you could get there, and you feel a slice stream down your back as blood pours out.
All right. Well, there we go. I'm going to hit this guy in the back. The main guy. Or him.
He sees you coming.
All right. Well, take the 18.
18 hits.
For 10.
Ooh, nice.
Swing it again. 24. For another 16.
Yep, 24 hits.
Who is this dwarf?
And short sword. 12 won't hit.
12 is a miss.
There we go.
All right.
Hammer's working again.
Let's see. So you see him blink out. You lose sight of him for a moment. Then he appears here. And then out and past your vision, Drubrin. And you see him kind of, as he's moving, he's casting something, and you see him fade out of sight. And then he's gone. Drubrin is up. Oh,
Okay,
and your sense is now telling you to go west.
Yeah, so I was about to ask if I had that compass going still. All right, well, I will move a full 30 feet that way. Does it still keep telling me to go west?
It does, and you don't see anything yet.
Would I have been able to see, like, I assume he didn't take the hide action if he's turned invisible. Would I be able to see any movement of him moving around at all?
No. He moved further than you did.
So would should I do a perception check as an action, or do I feel like he's gone way too far?
Yeah. You feel like he's out of range. You only moved 30, right?
Yeah, I only moved 30, and when he disappeared, it looked like he was 15 feet away from me.
Yep. That is true.
So,
I think you would get the feeling that the staff is allowing him to do things.
Yeah, I get that. So I don't feel like I'd be able to figure out where he is from where I am.
You know the exact direction to look, but you see nothing there.
And I suppose it's not pinpoint enough that I can go, oh, he's on that square. I'll do random attacks there.
Dude, Kevin Costner shot a dude with his eyes closed at the end of The Bodyguard. You can do.
Hey, I'll close my eyes and hope that Inti guides me towards his staff and do some
you're
attacks.
part sorcerer. You're telling me you don't have fireball prepared?
I'll give that to you. If you hit a crit, you'll hit him.
Okay, well, I'll try 3 attacks. Let's go.
And
and I'll summon a spiritual weapon, hoping that this spiritual sword of Inti will somehow crit and slice him. But it does not. Well, I suppose that's me done.
All right. Drubin is done. And I think at that point, we would see the mist and smoke swirls, and they're gone.
So illusion?
The mist begins to settle from the ceiling down. It stops moving as if a wind is pushing it. The creatures are gone in a swirl. The wasps reappear. Mistletoe's hands light back up. Tristan's shield shines brightly, and all dark vision begins to return to normal.
Are we still wounded?
You are bleeding profusely. The wounds look nasty and infected with necrotic energies.
I'm not worried.
Because you have this cool new ability that you thought wasn't very cool.
I'm gonna drop my locust swarm.
I'm gonna drop where I'm standing.
All right.
And I'm gonna make my way to Danimal.
Drubin. We're out of turn order at this point. Drubin, you're at the walkway there. You're at the thing. Is there anything you want to do on this last turn? Any ideas before I don't give you one last chance to think of something?
Well, realistically, Drurin's not exactly a thinker, but the only thing he can think of is that it must have gone somewhere. So he'd either try to use his heightened sense of smell to smell out this guy, or just continue running towards where his compass is pulling him to. He was given a command by Inti, and he's going to follow it.
You're gonna leave everybody behind?
I would say that I would be chasing down this guy. They can choose to follow or stay, but yeah, I feel a divine pull.
All right, so you go dashing off into the night, and it is pitch black now, night. Alberix, you are heading down towards the mouth, and you maybe see the back of Drubrin racing down the pathway, but lose sight of him as he begins to move along because the path isn't like a straight path; it winds around. Drubrin, I think you could feel it moving, so the staff is currently moving side to side and moving down, but it definitely is still mostly moving in a westerly direction away from you. You still have a sense of direction. Guys up in the room here, what are you guys doing?
Igar's going to drop a healing spirit for all of us to walk through.
Okay. So you're going to spend 10 rounds doing that, or 1 round, or what?
It lasts for a minute, I believe.
So 10 rounds?
Yeah.
I'm just going to use my lay on hands and walk to the cave mouth and figure out where the other party members went.
Okay.
I'd be yelling if I heard Birix running behind me saying, "I'm chasing him down."
Let me fix some of these dark visions.
I'll yell at Mistletoe to come through this thing on his way out.
I will dogleg through it as I sprint off after the weird locks it on.
I need a die 6 for how much healing that gives, right? I believe it is.
Whatever the spell says.
Ah! All right.
Did I miss anybody's? Albrix, you don't have it. Drubrin does. Well, Drubrin's out there, though.
I don't have what?
Dark vision?
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right.
I picked one of 3 races that does.
I'm proud of you. Be strong, just like the human paladin. Play these dungeons right with no torches in hand when you go after that evil. So I think you might hear echoing off of the valley Drubrin's voice. Drubrin's chasing after the direction. Something is out running away from Drubrin, but all of you would lose sight of him quickly. And especially you guys even see him, the ones that spent the minute getting healed. You would even see.
Hey, Lucian, if Drubrin ran off, I certainly would have followed him. That's why I came.
Yeah, I'm not spending time with the healing spirit. I'm just running.
I'm taking the healing spirit because I can catch up with these idiots later on.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys go barreling down the mountain, and you're not finding Drubrin.
If you're taking all of them, it's 10 rounds of 1 each, so 10 points.
Is that how that spell works?
Each round you get a die set.
Well, then you roll.
Let me roll each of them.
Yeah. Or however many you use.
Are we splitting that? So just give yourself 5 die 6 and me 5 die 6.
That'll work. Let me roll.
So as soon as I get out of the cave mouth, I am going to conjure animals, and I'm going to send them to go find is Drubrin.
9 for you, Logan.
Okay, so you see them race off into the darkness. What animals?
What animals?
I'm gonna go for the half crit again.
So 4.
Yep.
All right, so roll me a. So you said the half, right? Roll me a d8. Nope, a d8.
A 1.
All right, so 4 spectral apes appear near you, and then they start loping down the mountain.
And then I'm gonna head off after him.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
So you're out. Mistletoe, you would get to the cave entrance, and you wouldn't see anybody when you get there. What do you do?
I am booking it, making perception checks as I run, looking for any kind of residual spell effects or sign of the massive elephant creature passing.
Okay.
And I'm occasionally firing off radiant blasts to kind of like flares, like up in the air as I'm running.
Okay. You're not seeing. I mean, there's too many tracks of too much stuff, and you quickly go right off of the trail. Roll a perception check for me.
Terrible. I mean, I moved 45 around, and he was only like 20 feet away, and he's already gone by the time I get out of the cave-in.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Still can't hear you.
Yeah, you're lighting up as if you're talking, but no sound's coming through.
Did you mute your headset?
I have never craved your voice more.
Yes.
Yes. No.
I usually crave Logan's.
I will always love you. Oh, my wife brought me hot chocolate.
Dude, are you just the most spoiled?
Yep.
I can hear you.
Yep. Okay.
Is it our turn? As Rock and I come out, I'm going to start looking for Durban tracks and see if we can track him down.
Can I assist him?
Do we see Albjork's is light. Well, it said that way. Rock, let's head that way.
All right, I'll move us out faster than normal, I guess. Traveling towards it. It just says double, so you want to make him. I guess we'll double at his speed. I'm not going to leave him completely, although it doesn't really go into that kind of specific.
What's
I
that?
was behind Alberic's, I believe. That was my thought, because he was the one ahead of me. Well, he can only go so fast in the dark unless he added a light. And if he has a light, I'll follow the light.
That drift globe was following me. Oh, I see you.
Well, I still have my shield, but I don't know how long that's going to last. Sure, I'll just do my best to follow.
Well, if it helps for Rock and I, difficult terrain doesn't slow our travel because of my natural explorer, and we can't be lost. We can't get lost by magical means. Okay. Okay. Good.
Alberic says he's making his way down. We'll look over to Mistletoe and is a bit at a loss trying to find Animal. It just seemed like he was only 10 feet in front of him when he ran out. But yeah.
I'd at least like to catch up to Albjork's and the rest of the group.
We're not going to leave Drubin out here.
Yeah, I can't imagine we would stop looking for him.
You can't sprint your entire batting.
Sure. That's up to Rock. Rock's the sprinter.
Once we get into a group, I mean, our travel pace just doubles as long as they're moving with me. So at a certain point, we're not even sprinting; we're just traveling as
Quick walk.
twice as fast. We're finding Drubin.
They got an hour before they're done. And if those apes had a beat on Drubin, I would have followed them. Okay.
So at some point, I guess we would double back, and I can't believe we can't find tracks of an elephant with a ranger in our party, and I guess follow more closely once daylight hits. Talking about a dwarf and favorite terrain. Maybe back by the cave entrance, I guess.
Maybe check each of the if the trail forks off. Maybe check each of the forks as we go back. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Hey, he went this way.
Start moving with you. Break some branches so that everyone else can follow us if they haven't, if we haven't caught up. Well, if we're going south, we can get back to Bastion or the keep within a day, right?
We should probably get some sort of rest in here.
Yeah, right. Just rest before we're exhausted right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Albirix collapses in Rock's arms.
I'm gonna see if I can't find us a decent place to rest that's kind of sheltered from casual eyes.
Dumbo.
Siragalos.